2019 was brilliant at just about every weight in boxing. Terence Crawford was hunting down a unification bout with Errol Spence or Manny Pacquiao. Canelo Alvarez beat up all comers at multiple weights, while his nemesis Gennady Golovkin continued to chase him at middleweight. Vasyl Lomachenko collected all the belts at lightweight except the one claimed by Teofimo Lopez, who was intent on collecting all the belts for himself. And at heavyweight, the lineal champ Tyson Fury crushed a couple of cans while he waited for his rematch with the WBC champ Deante Wilder, who crushed anyone game enough to stand in front of him. While the man with all the other heavyweight belts, Anthony Joshua, first lost opponents, and then all the belts, all before winning them back later that year. 2020 was set to be huge, and it couldn't have started better than with Deante Wilder versus Tyson Fury 2, especially when no one saw the draw coming in their first bout.
I still think Tyson had Pillow as fists, but he's a skillful fighter though. You know, you can't have it all. People say I don't have skills, but I have the punch.
This is why I respect this man, because in a lot of other weight divisions, especially in our era, we're the only two undefeated warriors. We turned pro at the same time. We're still undefeated at the same time. And we're going to put it all on the line yet again for the fans.
The 6'9" Gypsy King danced around the biggest puncher in boxing history, dropping him at least twice before the referee waved it off. Fury was nothing short of masterful, and he proved he was clearly the best heavyweight in the world.
Hit me hard there, but I just had to overcome a lot in this thing tonight, and I just always believed that if he couldn't beat me when I was only 50% the man I am today, then he never had a chance tonight. Well, thank you very much for the opportunity, and can't wait for the next fight, the rematch, hopefully, if he wants it.
The rematch was agreed to, and boxing looked to be on the rise again, right up until the entire world was floored in an instant. The COVID pandemic hit, and it hit boxing hard. All the great scheduled championship bouts were postponed or even canceled, and the sport came to a complete standstill. Fury vs. Wilder 3 was delayed and then called off altogether. Neither man fought in 2020. Neither did Manny Pacquiao, who turned 42. And Canelo Alvarez, the man with the biggest contract in boxing history, sued his promoters for continually canceling fights. The year was unraveling for the Sweet Science, but like any good champion worth his salt, it made a late comeback. It started in August with the women's lightweight champ Katie Taylor in a rematch with Delphine Persoon with all the belts on the line yet again.
I'm very, very excited. I've said before, this is why I'm in the sport of boxing for, to take fights like this. This is a legacy building fight for myself and for Delphine.
Taylor proved she was the undisputed best in the division with another decision, and boxing was getting to its feet. Next up, the pound-for-pound champ Vasyl Lomachenko took on Teofimo Lopez to crown an undisputed four-belt champion.
When I came in professional boxing, I always wanted to fight only with the top fighters, with the world champion. I have a top fighter in front of me. I want only to improve my legacy.
This is a lot more than just business. It's definitely personal, and I can't wait to squash that beef come October 17th, you know? And then we just throw it down, throw them hands, and may the best man win.
It wasn't the fireworks we hoped for, but it was the upset Loma feared. Using his range and a solid plan, Lopez kept the Little Master on the outside to score enough hard shots to take the bout and the undisputed title. And just like that, boxing was back.
So it's fine. Now, you know, they just got to eat it up, suck it up. And now it's time for us to take over and move forward. That's it. I told y'all, man. Out with the old, in with the new.
Following in Lopez's footsteps, October through to December was epic. Terence Crawford strapped on the gloves to face the former champ Kell Brook. and broke him in the fourth, leaving everyone to ask when he'll finally face Errol Spence.
Whenever. I would have liked it to happen 2 years ago, if you ask me. You know, but yeah, it didn't happen, so, you know, we just on the waiting game.
Spence stepped into the ring for the first time since his late 2020 car accident to face the multi-weight champ Danny Garcia. And he put on a clinic against one of the division's best to defend his titles at home.
You know, I basically proved that, you know, I'm back and I'm here to stay, and I'm the unified champion of the world.
Gennady Golovkin stepped into the ring to face Kamil Sharameta, looking to become the most successful middleweight in boxing history with his 21st defense. And Triple G got the win with his 36th stoppage. The very next night, his nemesis, Canelo Alvarez, had his chance to make a statement of his own. But Canelo was doing it at super middleweight against the best in the division, Callum Smith. Well, Callum didn't go down. He lost convincingly, and Canelo decided that it was time to take over the super middleweight division. And after multiple postponements, the unified heavyweight champ Anthony Joshua went head-to-head with the one-time title challenger Kubrat Pulev. He stopped him in the ninth to set up a possible showdown with Tyson Fury to unify all 4 major belts at heavyweight. Except this man, Alexander Usyk, the former undisputed 4-belt cruiserweight champion, stepped up in a big way. The cat thoroughly outworked Derek Chisora for 12 rounds to become Anthony Joshua's mandatory challenger. And Usyk had a message for AJ.
Anthony, how are you? I'm coming for you. Anthony.
But the biggest curveball of 2020 was the heavyweight showdown between Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. The two legends, both now in their 50s, put on a show better than anyone had any right to expect. And while it ended in a draw, not even Tyson was sure it was all about winning or charity.
Before it was all about me and the hot chick and the nice car and the planes and the boats, and it doesn't do it for me anymore. I like my pigeons and my fancy clothes. Other than that, I don't want anything out of life. It's not a trip, my pigeons and my clothes.
Thanks for watching. And remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.